Hello there, YouTube. Devin here again, and today I have another how-to video for you because it was kind of a learning process for me, and it kind of sucked. No offense, this is kind of a terrible system for all of you American fanboys out there. I shouldn't say it's a terrible system. It's actually pretty nice and pretty comfortable once you size it right and you get it on correct and everything like that. Then it's actually a pretty good system. But like putting it on and trying to figure it out kind of sucks. It's pretty awful. And what I'm talking about is the 1938 pattern leggings here. And this is an original pair, complete with original rust. It's an unissued pair. It's a little bit tarnished. And when I got them, they were a little bit beat up, to say the least. They're new old stock, but the laces in them were kind of shot. So I had to get some new laces. And today I'm going to show you kind of start to finish, for one, how to put the laces in these correctly, how to put them on, and how to, kind of fit them and size them and everything like that. So, because there is a bunch of different sizings. So, first off, what you want to do is you want to figure out what your calf size is. At the widest part, you want to get a kind of cloth tape measure, okay, and you want to measure around, or if you have a piece of string, or something like that, you can wrap it around your calf at the widest part, okay? And then there is corresponding sizes to make sure that those would work. But you got to take into a bunch of factors. So what we have here is this is a size 2, okay? So 2 would be a pretty common size. It's one of the more common sizes to be able to find still. And they go all the way up to like size 3 and 4. Okay, which would be for people with really wide calves, kind of ham hocks and stuff like that. Those are sizes 3 and 4. The most common sizes you'll be able to find are sizes 1 and 2. I wear a size 2, even though my calf size corresponds to a size 3, because my legs are so long. The widest part of my calf is actually kind of above where the gaiter would go. Where the legging would go, basically. So a size 2 fits me just about perfect, as you can see from my other leg here. It's pretty about perfect. You want them kind of snug and not like cutting off your circulation, but you want all the laces to look relatively uniform and be quite tight and everything like that as well. So, and then you gotta, so once you find your size, and there's sites you can look up your corresponding legging size. To that, make sure you get the right size for your leg. And everything like that. There's also multiple sizes. As you can see here, this is also a 1938 pattern legging. It is a smaller size, and this would be kind of used by the Marines into like the Korean War and stuff, because not everybody would be getting the latest and greatest, so to speak, for quite a long time. So as you can see, they're shorter than the other leggings. They have a lot less eyelets and stuff. They hook up a little bit different, so there is different versions. So make sure you're getting the correct version for the time period you're trying to portray. Just like make sure you get the right boots for the time period you're trying to portray. So these leggings would be worn with the Type 1 service shoes, which would be pretty much this. This is a Type 2 service shoe. Type 1 service shoe would have just a leather sole on the front here, and then a Type 2 would have the rubber soles, as you can see here. Just so you know. And then the Type 3 service shoes, otherwise known as the rough outs, would also be worn with these. And then, the 43 double buckle boots you wouldn't wear the leggings with because they're incorporated into the boot basically as part of it. So, and the reason this was probably so complicated to me, and for one, I had to do a bunch of reading and research on it because, for one, I'm not an American collector. This is the system I'm familiar with, which is more of a Commonwealth thing. It's kind of easier to figure out. It's not as complicated. It doesn't take anywhere near as long to put on. But now we're going to get into the whole thing of, I'm going to show you how to put these on. So first things first, all of you should know how to tie your shoes. So get your service shoes on, stuff like that. Get it all ready. So these are kind of reminiscent of putties though, as far as they feel. I kind of like them once you get them on, but putting them together and getting them on takes forever, and it's really fucking annoying. No offense. It's really annoying putting these things on, and I see why they were kind of universally disliked and were pretty much gotten rid of because nobody liked putting them on, which is unfortunate. So, but as a Canadian collector, this would be kind of historically accurate. Canadians, obviously, with the 2nd Special Service Force. I'm sorry, the 1st Special Service Force, and and stuff like that, you would see them kind of wearing gaiters and things like that as well, especially in training pictures and stuff. So then what you want to do is you want to, well, before we do that, I got to show you guys how to lace this pair of gaiters up. As you can see, these leggings come with a ton of eyelets on one side and a bunch of hooks on the other side. So what you're going to do is when you get your laces, they do make reproduction laces. These are reproductions. Mine, the ones that came with this, which were the originals, kind of disintegrated. So we got some nice reproduction laces here in number 3 OD green for early war. So on the side with the hooks, way down at the bottom of the legging, so the bottom of the legging has the strap and this buckle. You want to go from the outside of the legging. So the outside of the legging would have the hooks on it, okay, on the outside. There's a little eyelet down here at the bottom. You want to take the lace side that doesn't have the egglet, okay? And you want to pass it from the outside to the inside of that eyelet, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to pull just a little bit through, and you want to tie it. You want to tie it off so it can't slip back through that egglet, okay? That's all you need is a simple little knot like that, just so it won't pull through. Perfect. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to go over to the other side now, the side that has the buckle on it, not the strap, and you want to pass from the inside to the outside. So you have the egglet end now, from the inside of the legging to the outside. You want to pass through that first eyelet, okay, and then this is easy at least. You're just going to go up to the next eyelet and pull it tight, okay, and then back through the next eyelet on the bottom, so on and so forth, all the way up almost to the top. But I'm going to show you why once we get there, why you don't want to go all the way to the top. But as you can see, why this would be just kind of a horrendously terrible process, and why soldiers hated these things. And these things are known for breaking their laces all the time and not working all the time, and they tend to trap a lot of heat. And but they do keep rocks and stuff out of your shoes, to be honest. They do their job, which is kind of nice of them to actually be able to do. They're not a bad design, they're just kind of complicated and time consuming to put on, and that kind of sucks. But other than that, it's not so bad. Alright, so then once you get all the way to the top, you just don't go through that last eyelet. And I'll tell you why once we start putting these on, we get to the end here, and stuff like that. So, because it's crucial to with how these two little eyelets on the hook side go to finishing the gaiter off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, you always have the hooks, okay, on the outside of your leg facing to the rear, okay? That's how, so that way the open end of this speed hook here is facing to the rear of your leg, and the laces go on the outside, okay? So you want to kind of gather your pants, make sure they're kind of tight down to your shoes here, and I like to kind of fold them over like this in front of your leg. And the reason I do that is because then you get a couple extra layers of cloth against the front of your shin, because if you've ever banged your shins into anything, that extra padding's kind of nice. That's the only reason I do that. But there's a bunch of different ways you could really do that. So first things first, we're going to slip our leg into the gaiter, okay? Just like that, through that little lace there, because that little lace is now tied on both ends of the boot. And we're going to do our pants, you know, fold them over, make sure we get those 3 layers of cloth on the front of our shins. I just like doing that, once again, like I said, so you don't whack your shins. Gives you a little bit of extra protection. And then we're going to do the strap underneath the shoe. So your strap is going to go under your shoe from the other side of the lace. You're going to put it through this buckle, okay, through the alligator teeth part, okay, and you want to pull up just a little bit of slack. And I like to have usually about according to my other leg, about 1 inch of overhang, and that way you want them to fit kind of even, obviously, because these take forever, so you don't want to have to, these take forever to put on, so you don't want to have to do it twice. Okay, so basically that's all. Just don't want to do this twice. Okay, once you make sure you got kind of an even amount on both sides, you can now start bringing your lace over. Okay, you're going to grab that slack. You see how it makes a loop through those 2 eyelets? That is what's going to go over your first kind of scallop hook. Okay, and then you're going to pull it tight. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's not super tight right away. I'm going to show you kind of how to snug these up a little bit later so they look a little nicer. But right now you're just trying to get tension, put on all the scallop hooks, okay, and everything, so that way your gaiter is holding on. Okay, you wanna try to snug up some so you have enough of that lace, obviously, to fit onto the whole ankle, the whole legging, because obviously you're using a lot of slack trying to keep these together. Okay. You see why soldiers hated these? I see why soldiers hated these. These things are nightmares to put on. They really are, and I'm sorry to all of you, World War II American fanboys out there, and everybody that thinks the American military always has the latest and greatest and the best technology and everything like that. They don't. I'm sorry. They don't, and they have problems just like everyone else, and they don't get it right just like everyone else. But it's like I said, it's a comfortable system, and it does its job once you get it on, but you got to get it on first, which is the problem. All right, so see that? We got them all laced up here, but some of them are kind of loose, so now this is where you would go back through, and you would start pulling on the top rung of every lace, okay, to kind of choke them up, get some of that slack out of them. You do want these tight. Not, tight to where you're cutting off circulation and stuff, but you want them snug, okay? And it's gonna be, you just want to make sure you don't undo your scalp laces there. Just make sure you keep kind of snugging them up, shoring them up. Like I said, get them nice and tight, nice and snug. You want them all to look kind of even. These are contoured to your legs, so you want them to all basically to have the same kind of distance in between them. And once you get them all kind of snugged up, shored up, stuff like that, then I'll show you how to finish this thing off. So now you got these two, that little eyelet at the top, okay, and it's lining up with this little eyelet kind of here at the back almost. So now you want to pass this lace behind, okay, and you want to put it through that second eyelet, okay, and then you want to come back through this first eyelet on the other side, and you snug it up just like that so they're nice and even and flat. And then I like to go over to this rear one here, so you get this nice kind of bar going. Then you pass it over the top, okay, underneath this lace, then that big flat lace, and then you pass it through that loop that you just made. Pull it nice and tight, okay, and then you just tuck the excess into the gaiter. And that is how you would tie a pair of 1938 pattern leggings. Get them all laced up so they all look good and authentic. Let me know how they look. I had to kind of figure all this shit out myself. Looking at pictures and whatnot and shit. It's a very time-consuming, complicated process to get all of this shit on, obviously. And hopefully this kind of shows you, I looked up videos and stuff. I couldn't find one that did everything from beginning to end as far as showing you how to lace them and everything, and how they're supposed to look and whatnot. So hopefully this helps some of you here in the future. Please let me know in the comments if it does. Give me an opinion if you've ever had to use these as a reenactor or something, to see how terrible these are, if you think these are terrible, or if you think they were a good system or anything like that. Because I think they work, but boy do they take forever to get on, and boy are they complicated. So I see why soldiers really, really hated them. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see all of you here in the next video.